Okay, so for week 7 of summer anime, an insane episode of Bleach. I'm gonna talk about it, bro. Orihime showed out. That was like the standout this season. Also, some other stuff was like really good though. ReZero, such a highlight moment for, other characters to show out. I'll talk about it. Smoking Behind the Supermarket is back as well. The pre-air stuff is over. We're getting new content starting with episode 7. It's sick. Jaadugar still kind of setting up the Mongolian politics, but yeah, there's like some high tension stuff going on. Sunflower Circus is kind of chill. Daemons, there's some like kind of insane fights happening. So yeah, current arc is like pretty exciting. Besides that, a lot of the other fantasy shows continue. All the kind of like Villainous slop shows are there. There's a Yuri magic anime with people dying, so that's also there. And yeah, there's some like interesting romance progression as well this season. So yeah, let's get started. So yeah, starting off with Bleach. We got episode 5 of the Blood War, episode 45 of like the entire Blood War, but 5 of the season. And oh my god, like how they portrayed Orihime here was like mind-blowing. Like for shonen standards, for like final like boss power-up standards, it was insane. I loved like her dialogue where she was like, getting beaten by a watch, still healing, but she like kind of curses her like weakness. She's not weak, Orihime is strong, but like she keeps saying, oh, I'm not strong enough to protect everybody. She wants to be even stronger. Bro, you're fighting Quincy Satan, okay? Like he's overpowered. It's not your fault, Orihime, but she keeps punishing herself, beating herself up because yeah, she like thinks her power is too weak. Which I mean, okay, if she like locked in, was a bit more battle hardened or bloodthirsty, maybe she could do something with her power. But yeah, it took like all of this, like seeing like Ichigo, Rukia, everyone getting killed, like this impossible situation for her to be like, no, I reject this, I'm gonna get stronger, like I'm not weak anymore. But spoilers for the episode, I just want to talk about like her moment where like after all this emotion piles up, she keeps repeating, oh, I'm weak, I'm not strong enough, and I loved it. Usually I hate like, repetitive stuff in anime, like we get it, but the framing in this episode, the emotional moments, it was so good for Orihime. Also, something else in this episode that was really like cinematic. The entire episode soundtrack battle was just like insane. This could be the best episode of the Blood War. I'd have it on my top 3 because there's some other moments, like this is the peak of the Blood War so far. So basically at the end, Orihime, she summons all 6 of her fairies and then just like envelops herself in them and then sacrifices herself next to Yawatch, and they both disappear, turn into like kind of like cherry blossoms. So like what does this mean? I mean, obviously it's not gonna be over, he's not gonna die, and obviously Orihime also does not die because like these are the like main characters. So it might be like, how Squad Zero defeated the Sternverse, might be something like that. Yawatch has the Almighty, he can like do shit that doesn't matter. So yeah, the sacrifice was still good. Like this whole episode got me crying. So yeah, I mean, I'll talk about the episode now. So yeah, basically the fight continued. Before our last episode, they were fighting the miracle guy Valkyrie dude. So yeah, that fight wasn't really going well. And besides that, here we see Ishida fighting Hashwal, and yeah, the main one, Ichigo and Orihime fighting Yawatch, and then Rukia also shows up. So they're all trying to face this like overpowered dude. He has Almighty, so he's like one-shotting Orihime and Ichigo as well. Like they have like holes in their body. Orihime keeps spamming I reject to heal, and it's going pretty well, but then obviously like her energy is gonna drain pretty soon. So yeah, that's what Yawatch was waiting for. And then she's just like cursing her weakness, bleeding out, she can't save Ichigo. So after that, Rukia shows up and kind of like invigorates him, makes him get a second win, and then do a Bankai using the horned mode. And it's just like kind of like an eclipse Bankai, like it was like insanely well drawn, and then he kind of has shadow clones now. So yeah, Yawatch, I guess like Almighty can't really keep up with it, and he's able to also use the shadow clones to protect everybody, so he can kind of do everything himself. And then Rukia is also there with her ice powers. She also summons her Bankai, and then yeah, they both envelop Yawatch, almost kill him. So yeah, it's going well, right? And then he just boom off screen stumps. So yeah, every time these characters get some momentum, it was such a sick battle scene though, good music, like everything was beautiful. Then we see Rukia stabbed, and then Ichigo stabbed as well. So it's horned, Getsuga, Tensho moves, shadow clones, doesn't matter. So Yawatch like stabs him as well. And then that's when Orihime had enough. She's bloody, tired, no energy, curses her powerlessness. So yeah, again, she stands up, summons like with her hairpins all the 6 fairies, and then rejects Yawatch, as that's what I think she did. So yeah, she's like, if none of this happened, if like all this pain and fighting and war doesn't exist, Everyone will be happy. It'll be good. So she like goes up next to Yawat, sacrifices herself. I think she says bye bye Ichigo, and then the whole screen went white, and then they just exploded. I loved it so much. I love like her dialogue where they muted it, but you can see her mouth moving. Like that shit was sick. This is par for the course for Yawat. Like I think final shonen villain. Of course he's gonna have like nonsensical extreme amount of powers, but yeah, they're making all the fights pretty hype. They're giving every character a glow up, so that's something also I appreciate. But Orihime, rest in peace. She is gone, and I mean, I guess we'll see what's gonna happen next. But I'm so excited. This episode had me on the edge of my seat. Such a cinematic episode. I doubt they can top this. Also, another insane pop-up type of continuation. We have ReZero, so season 4 episode 13. It's going on. Subaru, this is like Subaru with like no memory still. Now he's locking in. He's kind of like leading everyone, telling them to start like investigating what's like how he lost his memory, how to defeat the sword guy. He's like trying to plan shit. He's like reassuring everybody. Even like Amelia, there was like some cute sad moments where he kept calling her Amelia-chan. And then yeah, the main twist in this episode, they find the book of Reed. So he's like the red-haired guy trying to find a weakness. Subaru reads the book, and it's actually Gluttony waiting inside. So, like, Gluttony's attacking the castle. We see there's like 3 Gluttonies. So yeah, one is in the book that ate Subaru's memory. Another one's just like attacking the castle. Is the third one is summoning magic beasts, and then Shala's stealing well of the magic beasts invading the castle. But that's like that makes sense. That's like why everything went wrong last season. So we see that it's like Gluttony attacking, and then Gluttony absorbs Subaru's memories. I don't know how Gluttony spawned in this book, but basically Gluttony's trying to rage bait Subaru because she ate his memories, but she also wants to eat his body as well. But she can only eat someone once. So yeah, she wants to experience return by death, I guess, because Gluttony, I guess, like has a similar motivation to greed. They want to experience everything, but at the same time, they don't really find any like enjoyment in things. So they think like return by death, experiencing that might bring them enjoyment. So they want to see what that's like. So yeah, even though they got Subaru's memories, it's not like the full Subaru. So yeah, Subaru, I mean, he's like kind of scared and confused. Like I guess Gluttony's not really attacking him. Like she's just egging him on. That's when Rem shows up. Rem, are you kidding me? She's here. And she had like one line here, but she kept spamming it. Stand up, Tachi Nasai. She kept telling Subaru, bro, stop crying, just get your ass up. So he listens to her after a while. Yeah, basically Gluttony's like, no, you thwarted me. And then there's like a portal where he leaves the book memory. And besides that, ReZero back. So yeah, we have quick 2 episodes of like, recap of last season. And now, story development on how shit went wrong. It's Gluttony. So it'd be nice if we beat him, because we can also, high key save Rem. Other notable stuff, the smoking anime are here. So, Yani Neko actually got canceled in some countries for advertising like an actual cigarette brand. So yeah, I think Taiwan and Hong Kong both like you can't watch it legally there. I mean, it is like pretty vulgar, so I guess like people reported them. But yes, that's kind of funny. But more comedy. I still love like the the vibe, the insane kind of like dark comedy. Besides that though, yeah, smoking behind the supermarket, this is like the the peak. It's back here. Like I'm sad that the opening and endings have changed. Besides that though, there's some good things happening. So Yamada, she actually has to take a promotional exam. She doesn't want to study for it, but free raise if you pass. So yeah, her boss is kind of like forcing her, so yeah, she does it. And then her and Sasaki, they like exchange like good luck charms, motivational charms to keep doing well, keep studying, and keep like hanging on during work. But that was like a cute moment for both of them. They both like preserved the charms that helped them. Sasaki's kind of like humble and modest. He's like, no, this charm, you won't like it. It's not gonna help you. It's just like hastily made. But then she appreciates it. It helps her study. She gets the raise. Also after that, more cute bonding moments. Yamada with some sexy ass new summer outfits as well. She's wearing shorts. She's wearing like this kind of black dress as well. So yeah, 2 new outfits for this episode. Sasaki, he's like still pretty dense. She has like this water gun. Just like shooting Sasaki with it. That was funny. And yeah, so many cute, wholesome, typical romance moments. So yeah, very cute progression. It's so chill. I'm glad it's back. We also have Jaadugar. We're on 9 episodes, and basically Mongolian political progression still happens. It's kind of interesting though, because Toloi, he's like the evil villain. He's always smiling though. He's like so positive and strong. He's like controlling the weather as well, using the stone to like have it snow, and then beating the Jin Empire. So yeah, even when he's outnumbered, bro, his like battle strategy is just like peak. Everyone everyone is kind of respecting him, and then you can see where the power struggle like shifts. Also, the main con, the head guy, he gets poisoned by the wife that Sitara was working for. You know, maybe she was trying to frame Sitara, we don't know. But basically, you know, interesting progression, just like the head con grows sick, so yeah, maybe they do an exorcism, because I guess it's not confirmed that he's poisoned. And some other people like Borakshin, they have like other motivations. So again, we'll see what's happening, but yeah, the story is like taking its time unfolding, just like showing us this whole political landscape. We also have Sunflower Circus, 8 episodes, just like cute every week. Characters getting more development. We see Mizuka, she finally joins the circus officially. It was cute. They do their whole performance. It was all like, you know, very solid. They're still kind of young and developing. So when they see the other circus or competitor, the Blue Rose Circus, they see that they're like, you know, they have a bigger crowd. They're better than them, but you know, they can still like use their talents to, you know, shape their own performance. So yeah, more circus stuff development is going on for these characters. And then the end of this episode, we have like this crazy cliffhanger. I don't think it'll lead to anything because the anime is like still pretty wholesome for the most part. But once they're like kind of celebrating in the hotel room, we see the headmaster Maria. She kind of like falls down the stairs. I don't think she's dead or anything, but like what a cliffhanger. Like what's gonna happen? I hope, like, we were so happy. And then now, yeah, there's some like dramatic moments at the end. So yeah, you know, hopefully Maria doesn't, you know, don't think that happens to her. We'll see. But she was like our lolly ringmaster, kind of like, you know, taking charge of the circus, and now she's injured for some reason. After that, we have Daemons of the Shadow Realm. So interesting progression. There's like this huge battle happening in the past few episodes. Kind of ends with this dude Ivan. So he was like the main villain. He has these 2 sword daemons with him, and then he admits to killing Yuru's parents. I don't know if like this is true. Maybe he was rage baiting him, but it makes sense if he did it. He's like the main evil guy in this anime. Something I noticed from this episode is that even though characters are prepared to fight each other and kill each other from both villages, they don't pull the trigger. It's kind of like, yeah, we can't have them kill. Like maybe in the first episode, you know, Gabby, she killed all those people, but now we don't do that anymore. So the only person allowed to kill, they kind of like put all the sins onto that one guy, Ivan, with the swords. So I mean, he's nothing to fuck around with. He can stab left and right. He can throw hands with them. It looks like his ability is also like kind of life drain, so he can like take their energy. They try shooting him too with guns, and he just deflects the bullets with the sword, which is pretty sick. So again, I think it ends up with him killing like the evil Yakuza boss uncle guy. So that's going on. We see another kind of villain girl also here. She kind of like absorbs all the dead bodies, cleans them up. So yeah, she's also working with Ivan. The villain group grows bigger, and yeah, I guess there's like going to be more fights happening, more story developments as we get the aftermath of everything here. And yeah, I guess the anime does continue. We also had some insane progression in I Want to Love You Till Your Dying Day. This was like the most obvious thing that would happen. It's like kind of annoying because like I knew this emotional moment was coming. I'm not like annoyed at it, at that it happened. I'm just like annoyed like how obvious things are, but it's still not a bad thing per se. It's just like the pacing and the story of this anime is just like super slow and obvious. But basically it's kind of like 86, it felt like, where, you know, we have these characters that we're with and then they're gonna die in this war for no reason. And then we see Mimi fighting Seiran, because Seiran, she's only 14, but she's like one of the strongest people in their year. Also, Seiran doesn't seem to be like, you know, prepared for actual battle, but you know, after like a poor showing, her girlfriend's still like worried about her, the blonde girl. She still volunteers to go to the front lines. Yeah, she like goes in her first battle, it's fine, she kills someone. She was like kind of paralyzed after that, like after taking her first life. But yeah, after that, you know, she keeps like going into battle. Her second battle though, she dies but she gets blasted. It just like happened so quickly. She was on like a tall tree, so I mean, it was kind of preventable, I guess. Why are you so high up in this like vantage point with no cover? Also, why weren't you able to react to it? But still, I guess like they had to do something to progress the story. So if she dies, I bet it's gonna have a lot of aftermath with all the other characters that like they hang out with. So yeah, there might be people angry, revenge, I don't know, people self-destructing, killing themselves. But basically Seiran dies. Mimi sees her die, just like disappearing, because yeah, when people die here, their body gets disappeared. So yeah, it was like pretty tragic how she died too, because she was still like kind of still alive with the hole, and then Mimi's waiting for her, and then she finally drops dead there. No one else notices. Oh my god, bro, it was so painful. After that, we also have Young Ladies Don't Play Fighting Games. So episode 7, Evo Japan continues. All of the girls make it to the first round. So yeah, that's sick. They make it to day 2. I guess they're gonna keep playing and, you know, deal with their nerves, and then, you know, continue their goals. And then also something insane, we see one of the head monitors from the elite girls school. She's actually the older sister of the other monitor. So that's why she was trying to play fighting games. She wanted to reach her level, like make her notice her. Okay, that's crazy. So all these girls in this elite school are playing fighting games apparently. So it's kind of funny and convenient, but you know, the anime does like a great job directing these moments to make them funny and serious at the same time. We also have the Ghost in the Shell anime episode 7. Actually, like crazy progression here. So they're continuing their mission. They kind of captured this robot that's been like infected with the virus, and we see it's like the head robot. It has like intelligence, kind of questioning, you know, what is man or machine. So they call it the puppet master. They're kind of doing experiments on it, but it breaks free, so they have to like chase after it. And there's some fights happening. Motoko kind of like jacks into it as well, and it just like gets brought into the simulation to like create like a higher life form or something. Yeah, the puppet master is kind of sick, so yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen. But you know, decent quality still. The story still feels like pretty episodic with, you know, missions happening each week, but yeah, now we're getting some more development as well. We also have some fantasy shows. Clevatess continues. They have more fighting happening. We learn a lot more lore about the school as well, with like, you know, people learning magic, where the power comes from. And the actual underground headmaster of the school is actually the princess of the kingdom. So yeah, that's sick. You know, some crazy reveals out here. She can like change her appearance if she like sucks people's bodies. So yeah, that's there. She's working with one of the magic beasts. There's the Villainess slop shows as well. I've been watching. All Works Made just like continues the story. Overpowered maid living her life, messing up the story, but you know, still getting the good ending, I guess. Victoria of Many Faces continues. Pretty dramatic so far. So a funny progression, because yeah, she cannot keep her identity a secret. Everyone just like knows how OP she is. People are following her, watching her, so she decides to leave. I think she takes a little girl with her, so that's going on. I don't think they'll actually leave, because you know, she established her life here. She was friends with the night guy, so yeah, maybe she'll like come back and, you know, do something. I guess we'll see. There's also a funny one that's just like an overpowered villain type of show, where it kind of reminds me of Overlord. Like this lady, it's like grimoire anime. She can do whatever she wants. She can like destroy kingdoms, but they're kind of making it like convoluted, her revenge. So she's like targeting everyone that wronged her and arrested her, even people that like kind of beg for forgiveness as well. She's gonna kill the entire kingdom, I guess. The main Villainous show I've been liking is though I'm in Inept Villainess. So yeah, it's pretty cute every week. Just like seeing the adventures of Rayran as she's trying to survive, doing her best. I love like every moment she's in this anime. There's still like some political setup with, you know, typical concubine Chinese palace environment. So yeah, that's there. But yeah, some big reveals as well. Her head maid realizes that they were body swap. It's kind of huge that she found out. But yeah, Rayran, she doesn't want the other girl Shuke Getsu to get into trouble. So she's like, okay, don't tell anyone. Don't tell the prince. I'll solve it myself. So yeah, Shu is kind of holding the body hostage, even if they know. It's like she won't really give in. But yeah, at the same time, it looks like Rayran, she likes her current body as well. She likes being healthy, and she probably wants like a mutual solution. That's how they're kind of stretching out the story, and I do appreciate it. There's some other head ladies in waiting. They're also setting up some story with everyone else. After we finish the first half of this anime with Rayran adjusting to her new life, and you know, things are going well. So yeah, we'll see how she'll navigate and like kind of solve things. We have some other romance shows going on. So yeah, the blind romance anime had some like great developments. So in episode 7, we get like some big reveals. The main girl, apparently she has cancer. That's like how she got blinded. It does make sense, but the cancer is also kind of like eating at her brain. It's like causing her memory loss, and she forgets everybody. She kind of cuts contact with everybody. She doesn't go into college anymore. She's like in the hospital. We don't really see her parents or anything. I'm like assuming, shouldn't they be taking care of you as well? Yeah, she's just like in the hospital. She doesn't remember her boyfriend. So yeah, it's kind of sad. It does beg the question, why is she in college? This was like a bucket list thing. I thought maybe a lot of the story setup wasn't there to like justify it. It's just here to kind of like set up a boy-girl relationship. So even though there were like cute, wholesome developments in the first half, and now like they hit us with a sad moment, I didn't really feel it that much, but you know, I'll keep watching. I'll see what else the story has in store. Other romance shows, there's You and I Are Polar Opposites. Nothing much to say, just like very solid show every week. So yeah, you know, pretty popular, good continuation. So it's there, just like wholesome vibes. 100 Girlfriends as well, you know, same comedy is there. So yeah, nothing much to say, just like more girls, more like, you know, random jokes out here. And yeah, another sick romance show, Goodbye Lara. This one is just like high quality every week. But you know, Lara's development is cute, where she has to like, you know, save her kingdom. She has to find romance, because yeah, the mermaids are like powered by her light, and she's like dying. They're all dying if she doesn't, you know, hurry up her mission. And then, you know, she's traumatized with like, you know, Earth relationship. So there's also like this blonde haired dude that's like rizzing her up. He's such a nice guy, very kind hearted, but then, you know, she's very traumatized. She doesn't really want to get close to him. It's like so painful. But I think they're gonna build their friendship or relationship pretty quick. Although like I've been seeing people say there might be a Yuri relationship with her and her caretaker that she's living with. So, you know, maybe they'll have a polycule. You know, if she has 2 relationships, maybe that'll like make her light even stronger. Yo, who knows? Also, yeah, she's like kind of navigating this world with the power of her stand. She has this giant flying shark thing and just like attack things in the air. So yeah, that's kind of funny too. We also have Mushoku Tensei season 3 this week. So yeah, episode 9 coming in. We're in the Sky Palace still with the Pegasus guy. And yeah, the big thing, Nanahoshi last episode, she was coughing up blood. So yeah, her fantasy sickness finally like took a hold of her. They they get more explanations as well, where, you know, her body's kind of like unmoving, unaging. At the same time, though, it's not really growing either. And she can also get hungry, and then like she can get sick too. And it's pretty scary and unknown for her, especially like she doesn't have any mana. That's like the source of this. She's also kind of jealous of Rudeus because he's just living his, you know, best isekai life. He doesn't have to worry about any of that. So Rudeus is like immersed in the world, but Nanahoshi, she's like a corpse. That's how she feels like. And yeah, you know, every season it feels like there's a Nanahoshi crash out. Here she was just like so stressed being sick. She's like, I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna see my parents. So yeah, you know, it's pretty emotional. She's been stuck here for like a long ass time, like over 7 years. So yeah, they're also in the Sky Palace. So yeah, maybe the Pegasus guy, like he's like, you know, trying to find information to help her, but there's still nothing concrete yet. So Rudeus tries to take matters into his own hands. He's like, let me see the purple haired demon girl that gave me the eye powers. Maybe, you know, she'll have a solution, because she was there 7,000 years ago in the first demon war when like this like mana plague like first started. So they kind of teleport to the demon realm. They find her. She's like homeless again, and then I think Cliff finds her, similar to Rudeus, and then he like kind of feeds her. She's like, oh, you saved my life, I'll give you a wish. So yeah, we end the episode there. You know, there's still like the funny fantasy goofy vibe, story progression still, so decent quality, good emotional moments so far. Rudeus kind of traveling, going on another like adventure, trying to save Nanahoshi. So yeah, we'll see how the story kind of unfolds. And yeah, that's it for the shows this week. Thank you for watching. Bleach was like the most significant episode this week, I think. And yeah, besides that, a lot of shows just like keep going. I've noticed nothing really is like super mainstream this season. I think Smoking Behind the Supermarket is like kind of popular and wholesome, and some other shows are like, you know, being followed. But yeah, besides that, I guess it feels like there hasn't been anything like super viral this season. But you know, I'm still watching a lot of shows, so I'm enjoying the interesting story progressions we have this season for sure. And again, you know, thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Peace.